Today we're going to be talking about how to create the perfect CV, resume, whatever you want to call it, for your high school years, because it's very important to have one as you apply to colleges and as you apply for internships. The most important thing is step 1, which is to have a chronological format. So what this means is you should list your experiences in reverse. So what it means is you could have the most recent things come on top, and the things you did a couple of years ago, they can come at the bottom. And it's also very important to have functional formatting. So that means you should focus on your skills and your experiences. And it's really good if you have a variety of experiences or even gaps. So a combination format can also be very important, which means it should have a blend of, chronological and functional formats, ideal for, highlighting both skills and also consistent time. Like gaps are all right, they can make sense because during COVID, a lot of people had gaps in their resumes. So that's kind of okay. Things like that can make sense if you were diagnosed with maybe a health issue and you couldn't maybe do a sport and you had to kind of take some break from that or something. You can always justify that, and that's completely understandable. Step 2 is contact information. You should include your full name, your phone number, your email address, and also your LinkedIn profile if you have one. And it's really good to have them because as soon as you do something like an internship or work on a project, you can just put it in there. Your LinkedIn is kind of your resume as well, and you can make connections on LinkedIn, which is like having followers, and you can just connect with people and have them maybe give you an internship or just do network. It's a great place for that. And for your format, you should have a center or a line to the top left of the page, ideally. Now, step 3 is objective or summary statement. So, objective statement is basically a brief statement of your career goals and what you aim to achieve. This could be in 1 to 2 sentences. And you can also have a summary statement which summarizes your qualifications and your achievements, which could be in 2 to 3 sentences. It's really good to go to your guidance counselor to make sure that you as a school are you as a school community have the same formatting, and if you are doing it right or wrong, because your counselors will also have editors who can help you edit your CV to polish it more. So definitely cross-check this, because there are various examples and samples of resumes, but it also depends on how your team and your counselors are working. So step number 4 is education. So list down your school name, the location, and the dates attended. And you can also add in details such as your GPA, relevant courses, honor classes, and academic achievements. So this could be being on the dean's list or honor roll or something. But for the IB, to tailor to the IB, you could talk about your HLs and your SLs, and if you did the personal project, what was your personal project on? If you did the IB in MYP, and if you did your e-portfolio, then which subject was it on and what was the project? So also mention those things. Now step number 5, this is very, very important. Extracurricular activities, because your resume is mainly for your experience and your ECs. So you should mention the organization name, include the name of the club, the team, or the organization, your role, if you were a participant, if you had a managerial or leadership role, you should write that down. And also the dates that you were a part of this, also write that down. And your achievement and responsibility, so highlight any particular achievements, leadership roles, or any key responsibilities you had during your time working in this particular extracurricular. Now step number 6, your work experience. So this could mean internships. So you should have your company name, include the name of the company, the organization, again your role, which could be an intern, and the dates that you work. This could also, if you work for a couple months, then just write maybe from February to May or something. You could write that. And responsibilities and achievements, you can use bullet points. It's very important to write everything in bullet points and not full-on paragraphs. Use bullet points to list your duties and any notable achievements you've had. Now step number 7 is your hard skills and soft skills. So As I explain what a hard skill is and a soft skill is with examples, you kind of understand the definition as well. So for your hard skills, write about your technical skills, relevant to your field of interest. For example, this could be programming languages or software proficiency, things like that, something you are very apt at and you're very, very good at. And your soft skills could be interpersonal skills such as leadership or communication, teamwork, maybe things like those. Now, step 8 is awards and honors. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to list the name of the award or the honor, and then you're going to go into the details. You're going to do a brief description, if necessary, of course, about including the organization that awarded it and the date. And this is something you should, have some focus on, because awards and honors can really help kind of back your experience by showing that you have experience for, let's say again, programming, but you've also won awards, which means that you're actually very proficient in this. Now, step number 9, certificates and courses. So what you should include would include any relevant certificates or courses you've completed and the details. You should mention the name of the certificate, the course, the issuing organization, and the date of completion, and even the duration that you worked on this particular course to get that certificate. That can also be a very good detail to back up your experience and your skills. Step 10, volunteer experience. Now, for volunteering, this can kind of come in with the extracurricular things. For this, again, name of the organization, your role, the dates, and also the responsibilities. And again, mention everything in bullet points, and you should mention what you did that helped the organization grow. That is kind of what the main purpose of this is. And step 11, formatting and proofreading. Now, this is very important. This is where your counselors as well as your editors come in. So formatting could be, you could use a consistent font style and size, for example, Times New Roman, and the font size could be 12. You could use bold and italics for emphasis. You could do sectioning, so you could clearly define sections with headings such as education, extracurricular activities, skills. And again, bullets and spacing. So use bullet points for lists and these type of things to ensure that everything is adequately spaced between sections. And proofread, check for spellings, for grammar, punctuation errors, and consider asking a teacher, mentor, again an editor, your counselor to proofread it, because sometimes we get too used to a type and only a fresh pair of eyes can kind of point it out. And last tip would be tip number 12 or step number 12, which is tailor for particular opportunities. A lot of people would kind of make their resume one-paged only, which is how it should be, because usually people don't have enough time to go through all 5 pages, which is quite a lot. Usually people don't have 5 pages, but if you do, that means you've done a lot of work, which is great. But you should have the most important things on your resume if you're applying for a particular course or an internship, and it should be all relevant to that particular internship or course, so that it does seem like you are quite apt and you know what you're gonna be doing if you get the job. So for this, you can customize by adjusting your CV to highlight experiences and skills relevant to that particular job. And for this, you can also do this for scholarships and even your applying for a particular major to university. And keywords, definitely include keywords from your job description or application guidelines, because that can definitely help make your case stand out a bit more if you have particular vocabulary suited to the particular major or whatever that you're applying for. So these are all the tips that I had. I hope these would help you out, because having a CV, a resume, it's very, very important, especially in high school. The sooner you work on it, MYP 4/9th grade onwards is the actual time that you need to start recording your data, because extracurriculars are a big part of applications towards the US especially. So I think this might be a little helpful for those who are a little struggling with their CV. But if you need a CV sample per se, you can just message me on Instagram at the IB Odyssey podcast, and I will be more than happy to help you out by sending you a sample. So I hope this helped you guys. If you have any more suggestions, please do let us know in the comments.